Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome to my channel and thank you for stopping by. Hope your day is going great. So today we'll be talking about Megalania and Suchomimus. I've already spoken about Megalania a little bit before. Feel free to check out that video. I'll leave the link down below in the description. But I thought of some more details that I wanted to add, so I thought why not? Let's do it again. And so this is not me recording the damn video for a second time, because I did not forget to turn on the mic. I've already done all of this that I'm about to say. Even after doing videos for so long, you still mess up sometimes, and yeah, I literally finished the entire video and I went to mute my mic and I realized it's already muted. So this is version 2 of the same damn video. Enjoy. Alrighty, so Megalania. Megalania is for sure one of the most unique playables that we're going to have in the game. It will be able to climb, most importantly not for its whole life, but I guess when it gets to maybe 50% in and around that, it will stop being able to climb simply down to its weight, which is very interesting. I mean, there's no other playable really that's going to be that different. Sure, you have other playables that kind of change throughout their life cycle, a bit different in juvenile stage to adult stage, of course, but I'm not talking about just, oh, I'm more powerful now so I can take on more things. But Megalania literally will be able to do two completely different things whilst growing. One will be climbing and one will be, I'm too heavy and fat now to climb. As you can see in these images here, that Herrera is lucky only because it got too fat. It will have an amazing tracking system. As you can see here is hunting down a Maggie, which by the way will probably be one of the only dinosaurs. Sorry, it's not a dinosaur. Don't kill me in the comments. One of the only animals that'll be able to hunt Maggie, because Maggie will have poisonous meat. Unless the developers decide to change that, it will have poisonous meat, meaning that it'll be kind of pointless for you to actually hunt it as a predator, unless you're just doing it for sport, of course, which I know most of you buggers are gonna do anyway. But in this case, for the sake of just hunting for food, probably Cerato will be the only other one that'll be able to also hunt it and eat it. But in this case, we've got obvious signs that Megalania will be the one. The only one or one of the only ones. But back to the tracking system, as you can see, it's bitten it, but the Maggie got away because it's pretty quick. It'll be able to smell you from very far away. Will it be a completely different tracking system and smell system to what we have now just for Megalania? Hopefully something different. I would like it to be something that's going to be not just an enhanced version of what we have now, but maybe something that shows a bit more the direction they're going in, kind of a trial. Maybe it looks like liquid on the floor here and there, like splatters of it, and the closer or like the further away you get from it, so the longer that, let's say, liquid or blood or whatever will be on the floor, the smaller the drops get that way. Obviously, you know, you're having to hurry up to find it. But stalking your prey is exactly what you're going to do as Megalania. You're going to kind of bite, let live for a little bit and stalk it and then end it. But interestingly enough, even though Megalania is a bit smaller than Tenno, is able to body one. As you can see in this image here, it's completely thrown it over like it's WWE, which is quite crazy. Now, I don't know the weight of Megalania, and I'm not going to even look at powerful times or base it from there, because that game is not the Isle, and it's going to be very different to here. But I can't imagine either of them being much heavier than the other. I mean, Megalania, of course, looks more bulky, so maybe that one will be a little bit heavier, even though it's shorter. But we'll see. Dryosaurus. When it finally gets its burrowing mechanic will probably be the time that Megalania finally comes. So you're going to be able to finally do what you wanted to do as a Dryosaurus for the 10 minutes that you're going to enjoy it, just to die to a Megalania. Win for Megalania, not so much for Dryosaurus. Of course, it's going to be semi-aquatic, so you'll be able to enjoy both environments of in water and out of water on land, meaning that you can swim amongst the likes of Spinosaurus, Deinosuchus, Suchomimus, or you can be on land amongst Tyrannosaurus Rex, Allosaurus and Hypsilophodon. So, a very colourful life you shall have as Megalania. You can climb trees when you're small, so all the Herreras will be chilling with you or running away from you, or shall I say jumping away from you, because I don't really see many Herreras being able to do much against even a fresh juvenile Megalania, as Herreras are quite small comparing to Megalanias. So I can imagine that even at a fresh spawn stage, maybe Megalania will be quite tough to deal with. Humans, as you can see, one is being shredded here. Does that mean that Megalania will be one of the very few animals that will be able to actually have humans on their diet, but they don't just kill them for the sake of it, but they actually kill them because they're food? And will humans actually have organs one day? That's another question. Hopefully the answer to that is yes. So for me, Megalania is definitely something that I very much look forward to. I know they're planning on bringing out more bigger stuff now. Well, I say now like we've already got all the playables that we were promised. We haven't, so Imagine I'm saying this part right after we already got the playables we were meant to get, like Kentril T-Rex, Baryonyx, Allosaurus, and Ostroraptor. So whenever this day actually comes, they do kind of plan on bringing out bigger stuff. I guess that means bigger mid-tiers and apexes. But I do hope, not that I'm a big fan of small tiers or anything that's quite small, because to be honest with you, I don't care too much about them. But Megalania is definitely different. A more unique playstyle, something you can actually do with and you can punch above your weight, while still being careful of course, because you're not very big, so other big predators will be able to have their way with you. But you might be able to at least send a nice present back to them once they've killed you, if you've managed to bite them with your venom. But I do hope it will be one of the next ones that come out, even though I do doubt it. I haven't seen them talk about Megalania too much, unfortunately. But anyway, let's talk about Suchomimus now, for the second time. Suchomimus, a big mid-tier that's semi-aquatic as well. Today's all about semi-aquatics apparently. I do feel like they're probably the most interesting playables in the game. I mean, being able to go in water and outside of water, you can pretty much explore the entire map, right? Apart from the skies, of course. But Sucho will be an excellent fisher, as that's pretty much what you see in the entire concept art. It's gobbling up an elite fish whole, doing it Dinosuka style. It's using some sort of sonar, you could say, actually fish, not just go in the water and see a fish and be like, I'm gonna hunt you, but it's actually being sneaky. And I hope this is something that comes in the game. Maybe they'll make AI actually more in depth, since it is only 2025 and AI can be much better than the shit show that we have now. Like, Jesus, it's bad. But I'm not going to get into that because we're not meant to be talking about nonsense like that today. But hopefully when the AI is better, stuff like Sucho will have actually better ways of hunting them than just bite like some brainless idiot. And it'll be able to actually use its senses to kind of sense a fish out and catch it off by surprise. Similar as you can see here, as it's catching a Baipe by surprise, which doesn't make too much sense since they're both semi-aquatics, so they're both in water, and you can't see any land or a river bank in this concept here. Of course, these are just concepts, so I don't want to look too much into them as well. But it just makes me think, is Sucho going to be really good at kind of being like a submarine where it can go undetected to catch even stuff as quick as Baipe? Because of course I'd presume a Baipe to be much quicker than a Sucho, at least agility wise. But yeah, that's pretty much it about the concept art and Sucho. There's not too much apart from they like to hope that it will be a good fisher if they fix their fucking AI. It is of course going to be the biggest mid-tier that we have, or at least one of the biggest. Do correct me there if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the biggest mid-tier we have. It is quite strong, just like even in Legacy, which I don't really want to compare too much since it'll be a lot more advanced than a Vrima. But in Legacy, it was still a tough boy to deal with. It was just quite shit with how slow it was and its turn radius. But then to be fair, that's also why I never really played it, because growing it was an absolute nightmare. But it'll be definitely something that I would love to give a go and play. And probably will play a lot more in a Vrima. Will I main it? Probably not. I'll prefer playing Megalania. But excited for it nonetheless. I think it's one of those dinosaurs that's kind of partly the face of the Isle too, as well, especially because it was part of the Hope trailer, which they also were showing is fishing, by the way. Because I guess they were hoping that they were going to be much better at AI by now, but they're clearly still not. In fact, somehow they're worse. I'm doing it again where I'm talking about stuff that I'm not supposed to in this video. But anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say here. It was part of the Hope trailer, as you can see here. It was fishing. Quite a surprise it's not out yet, of course, but it is kind of showing up that's going to be a slow and steady animal. So it'll still not be too quick. Not that's going to get much of a speed buff in a Vrima, but that's okay. Because at least in a Vrima, you have got stuff like ult attacks. It will actually be able to swim as well. It's not as ridiculous as in Legacy, where a Utahraptor can just kill anything in the roster simply because it can tail ride your ass until you die, even if it takes them 1 hour to do it. Luckily in a Vrima it requires more skill to play, because you gotta watch out for stuff like ult attacks and other special abilities as well that some animals might have. But that's enough about Sucho and Megalania. Which one would you prefer to see? And when would you like to see them? Sooner rather than later? Or is it something that you would kind of want to be done near the end? Like I said, I would love to see Megalania sooner rather than later. But apart from that, you guys have a fantastic day and peace.